Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. In 1988, the Environmental Protection Agency told Congress, when climate warms, snow cover is reduced. In the 2001 United Nations IPCC report, they said, milder winter temperatures will decrease heavy snowstorms. We're being told that global warming will make the Winter Olympics impossible in the future. The New York Times told us the same story 4 years ago. 22 years ago, the Independent newspaper announced that snowfalls are now just a thing of the past. 15 years ago, the New York Times announced the endless summer. 8 years ago, the New York Times announced the end of snow. 10 years ago, the Washington Post predicted that cherry blossoms would start blooming in January. And last year, the Washington Post predicted that summer was going to last for 6 months. Meanwhile, back in the real world, global temperatures are a terrifying 0.1 degrees above the 1979 to 2000 average. The Winter Olympics start on February 4th, and the United States is facing historic cold that day. The northeastern United States is having an historic snowstorm right now, with parts of Massachusetts expecting up to 2 feet of snow. 2 weeks ago, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine got stuck in a snowstorm on I-95 for 27 hours. And half of New York City's 15 largest snowstorms since 1869 have occurred in the last 22 years. Autumn and winter snow cover in the Northern Hemisphere has been increasing steadily over the past 60 years, and recent years have been at record highs. Our leading global climate experts predicted the exact opposite. It's very clear that they don't know what they're talking about. But never mind reality, the Wall Street Journal reports today that all the heavy snow and cold we're getting is because of global warming. And they say snowfall is decreasing even though it's actually increasing. What used to be called a snowstorm is now called a bomb, and it's all due to the burning of fossil fuels. When snowfall is decreasing, that's due to global warming. And when snowfall is increasing, that's also due to global warming. No matter what the weather is, ad hoc science will find a way to blame it on global warming. At the same time we're being told global warming means no snow at the Olympics, we're also being told that global warming is bringing more big snowstorms. This is some pretty spectacular Orwellian doublespeak. Based on this junk science, the Wall Street Journal says we're going to have to get rid of oil and natural gas and replace it with large wind turbines. Let's take a look at what would happen if people actually did that. Next weekend, the United States is facing not only historic cold, but there's also going to be almost no wind in the continental United States. The one exception being this part of Wyoming where I live, the wind's always blowing here. If the country was reliant on wind power, we would be facing a massive disaster similar to what happened in Texas last February. The wind stopped blowing, the wind turbines froze up, the Texas grid shut down, and lots of people froze to death. The Wall Street Journal is making an unsupportable correlation between global warming and heavy snowstorms. And they're saying the big snowstorm is being caused by people using oil and natural gas. They're making a nonsensical correlation which has no basis in science or reality. Their beliefs are based on the opinions of academics who've been proven wrong over and over again the past few decades. So it's very important that people start asking, what is the real agenda being driven? If the public keeps listening to this sort of propaganda, there will be catastrophic consequences. Every child knows that snow is associated with cold. But under the influence of nonstop propaganda and brainwashing, many adults forget the basic concepts of science. Toto wonders what's wrong with human beings that makes many of them so susceptible to propaganda, even when that propaganda threatens their own safety and well-being. You can visit Toto, Kyrie, and Caesar on the web at RealClimateScience.com.